Let's talk about self-sabotage, triggers, and traumas. What are triggers? What are your triggers? What's the thing that sets you on edge? So, if I could share something, my therapist told me something real powerful when we were talking about triggers before. He said, triggers are not always bad. And that's the first time I really heard it, because everything I'd heard about triggers is like, oh, that triggered me, that trigger, and there's a reason to withdraw. So that's where self sabotage can sometimes come in, because you get triggered by something and then you withdraw. Let me tell you one of my triggers. Like, it is difficult for me to allow people to celebrate or serve me. It's challenging because I'm 48, soon to be 49. I've never had a birthday party that I can recall. Never, right? And so I felt like, hey, one of those lies I've told myself, you're not worth celebrating. You're not worth acknowledging. And so when people try to celebrate or acknowledge me, I have a tendency to be triggered by it. And I typically kind of self sabotage it, meaning one of the things I'll do is before you can serve me, I'm going to serve you. Or I'm going to get involved in serving myself while you're trying to serve me. And that was just a trigger response because of how I felt growing up. Still struggle with it a little bit. But my therapist said there's another side of triggers that doesn't get talked about enough, and it's really the thing that brings healing. And that is the side of triggers that it is a signal from your body that it's okay to address and deal with that thing, that trauma, that event, that pain that happened. What he told me is, he says that when we go through traumatic or painful events, essentially our body says, hey, we can't spend or expand any energy, any capacity to anything other than getting them through this moment, keeping them alive, getting them through this moment. So all things that are not critical in this moment get packed in what he called the trauma trunk. Now, there comes a time after the danger is past, after the adrenaline has gone down, at a certain point in the future, could be in the near future, could be in the far future, that your body says, hey, we got this stuff over here in the trauma trunk and we need to unpack it. And so a trigger comes up and say, oh, this is a perfect time to unpack that safely. There's no threat, there's no danger. We can work through this thing and get it unpacked and make a decision on what to do with it. Some of it you need to discard. Some of it you need to fold and pack away because it'll serve you well in the future, but now you have control over it. The danger of not processing, I'm going to call it positive triggers, is then eventually your trauma trunk will become overpacked. And if we don't unpack our trauma trunk, it will burst open at the most inopportune time. So let me ask you, what do you need to unpack from your trauma trunk? That trigger really isn't the danger that you think it is, but is actually a signal for you to unpack the trunk. Listen, remember, ask better, build stronger, and live clearer. And I'll see you on the next video. God bless.